Amazing. And I know when I read, so I actually found Lulu on LinkedIn, funny enough. That's where I found her. And when I read your profile, it said a really large number that you had actually gathered of funding for women, helped them gather this funding. Can you please share your most successful sponsorship story with us?
And the whole number also.
And the whole number also.
Awesome.
We like women to brag here, you know, like we like them to celebrate themselves. So please do share.
Yeah, so the biggest sponsorship that I received for a client is 2 million.
Hell yeah! We should have started with this, because there would have been way more notes being taken. Everyone's like, okay, go back to the start.
Hello, 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 everybody. This show has been created to inspire you to take action.
Celebrating and reframing what success looks like.
To be the best version of ourselves that we can be.
And we have incredible speakers for you tonight.
Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Future Female Show.
I am Lauren Dallas, and this is my amazing co-host, Susanna Kennedy. And if you haven't tuned in before, the Future Female Show is all about celebrating, but also reframing what success looks like. We interview women from all different industries, all different walks of life to share their stories, but also, of course, practical strategies to help you in your lives and, of course, your businesses. And tonight's guest is no other than...
Lulu, we are so excited to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me, ladies.
Lulu is the co-founder and CEO of a company that you all want to know about. As women, when we are creating wealth and we're looking to partner with sponsors, this is one of the most challenging things. And so Lulu has created an amazing company that actually teaches you how to go out there and get the money you need. I mean, what, Lulu? Hey?
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Ladies with High Heels and High Goals. So what I do is I help business women get a yes from sponsors when everyone else is getting a no. So that's what I do.
Get a yes. Thank you, Lulu.
That's like a hell yeah.
That is a hell yeah. So what I particularly like about Lulu, we actually worked with her personally recently, so she comes highly recommended. Susanna and I, actually at Future Females, a large part of our sustainable revenue actually comes from corporate and government partnerships and sponsorships. And you might not know that because it's a little bit behind the scenes, but what's helpful and why we're really passionate about it is it helps you manage some of your risk if you have both your direct-to-consumer revenue as well as partnerships. So Susanna and I find Lulu, and we're sitting in an apartment just up the road, and we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? Are we prepared enough? And she comes in, she's like, you ladies are doing it all wrong. It's like, show us your ways, and now we want you to show everyone your ways.
Yeah, it was really a fantastic day. It was an intensive day. She's got a couple of different programs that she does offer, but Lauren and I literally sat with Lulu for a whole day. We mapped out exactly what we needed. We found the people that we wanted to connect to. We found their competitors. And then we connected to people, which was really, really great. And we have also heard back from some of your testimonials saying how wonderful it is and how much money they have actually secured just by doing your process, which is really, really great.
Yeah, so what happens usually is that businesswomen already have an audience. They already have people that they're working with, but they don't know that they could actually help other people, like they could actually secure sponsors from the audience they already have, because they already have a target market, they're already working with those people. So if they were able to, if they give sponsors access to their audience, then they would be able to secure money and they would be able to actually monetize and actually get extra money from working with those sponsors.
This was one of the things that I thought was most valuable. Is so often when we're looking for sponsorship, when we're looking for money, we're like, this is what I need. Yeah. Whereas your approach was, this is what I know you're struggling with, and I know that I can help you with this. And it was such a game changer in the approach. It's not like, please give me, but I've got this and I can help you. Come work with me, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, because when you show up as an equal. You don't show up as someone who's coming to beg for money, because you have something of value to offer. So I teach women to actually show up in a way that says, hey, these are the assets that I have in my business, and this is how I can actually help you get more awareness or make more money from my audience. And the best thing about businesswomen is that they already have people who buy, because at the end of the day, businesses want sales. So if you already have a business and your business has an audience and it has customers and clients that are already paying you, obviously it makes sense for a corporate sponsor to work with you, because they know that these people are people that buy. Unlike if it's an influencer, they have no guarantee that those people buy, whereas you have an audience that actually has money. So yeah.
I think one of the things I really loved, and we're going to get into Lulu's actual process. So for those of you sitting there, you're like, oh, that sounds amazing, but how? We are going to get there. But one of the things that really struck me was exactly that reframe. And coming from, our position, I thought I was doing a pretty good job of charging for our worth. And then when you came in and you were like, no, it's not about saying, I really want to run this show, like, help us. It's actually saying, hey, we can support your marketing KPIs. What are they? This is what we can guarantee. And what is the budget available for that? And making it like, as you said, showing up as an equal and understanding that you have something to offer in this transaction as well.
Exactly, especially now that we're going through a recession, people need to make sure that they get a return on their investments. Like all the different corporates, they want to make sure they're getting a return on their investment. So when they work with you, because they know that your audience is an audience that actually pays, it's beneficial for them. So yeah, showing up as an equal is the most important thing.
It's a total game changer energetically though as well, because people get repelled by desperation, right? It's like, so whether it's in business or whether it's in relationships, when there's desperation, people like sense it and they're like, oh, I don't want to go there, Whereas if you come up with this, oh, I'm valuable, I've got something for you, they're like, oh, what you got?
Yep. And also when you show up and you tell them exactly how you can help them and show them the different assets that you have in your business and the different ways that they can work with you and how you can activate them, they're showing them, they're like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about, so they'll want to work with you. So it's important that you position yourself correctly. So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So I think let's get into the process. Where do you start, Lulu?
Okay, so pretty much what I have is a 3-step process. So the first thing that as a businesswoman that you want to do, you want to make sure that you position yourself right? So it's positioning, and it is packaging, and then the third one is pitching. So before you start, what usually happens is people like make a proposal and they go pitching and then they pitch themselves without first positioning yourselves. Because if you do that, then you get a no. Like people will just be closing doors on your face because they'll be like, who are you and what do you have to offer? And you've got nothing to show because you're just showing up to say, hey, I need money. And you're showing up like you're begging. But if you position yourself correctly first, that means that you actually are aware of what you have to offer and you know exactly who your target market is. You know exactly who you're talking to. You know exactly how the people that you want to sponsor you are going to benefit from working with you. So positioning is the first one, and the second one is packaging. So for example, if you as a businesswoman, like how do you actually, which activations do you have? Do you have social media? Do you have online and offline events? Do you have a newsletter? Like, what are the different assets that you have to offer a sponsor? So once you package those, then that's how it's going to determine how much you can actually, first of all, get from them and how you can actually position it and give it to them so that they see that, okay, working with you is actually going to give us a return on our investment.
And I loved how you helped us go through that process of just researching what each of the businesses were doing, what each of the companies were doing, and then cross-referencing what they seemed to want to achieve so that we could at least go in and say, hey, I see you doing great work here. This is how I can help you get a better reach in this exact way, which I thought was such genius information.
Yeah, because then
it's like we know it logically. Do you know what I mean? But so after we just skip the step. step. It's like crazy, but it's such an important step.
It is, because then when you show up, you're showing them that, hey, I've actually researched you, I care about you, you know?
Yeah.
So you're actually showing up to give value. Unlike if you showed up and you're like, hey, can you sponsor me with this and this and that? No, when you show up and show that, hey, I've researched you, I know what you're about and know what you're trying to achieve, can you tell me more about it? So that you show up in a way that you show up as someone who actually cares and you show up as an equal. Yeah. So that's very important. People usually miss that step.
It's so important.
So yeah.
So Lulu, if you don't mind, I might actually share a couple of the tools that you shared with us.
Sure.
For people who are like, okay, research, cool, tick. Because we all think we're researching because we follow the brands we like on social media.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share two.
Sure.
I think what really struck me in terms of thinking about the value exchange was particularly we were speaking about sponsorships. So there's a marketing exchange. Someone wants access to your audience, whether you have that in email or social or elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so what you encouraged us to do, which I actually hadn't done, I just kind of thought that I didn't need to, was research, firstly, what marketing are they doing?
Yep.
So there is a website called SimilarWeb.
SimilarWeb.com.
Called SimilarWeb.com.
Yeah.
It is free. You can go on there and you will see exactly how your target brand is driving traffic to their website and to their offers.
Yeah.
So you can see if there are referral sites, you can see if they're running paid ads, you can see which keywords are driving from search traffic.
Yeah.
So that already gives you a really good insight into what their priorities are and is there actually an alignment.
Yeah.
Also, if you know the website, for example, for the different companies that you want to work with, you can also go to hunter.io. So what they will do is they'll give you the email addresses of the company. Because if you've got the website, then if you just put the website, then they'll give you the email address. So you'll know exactly how to actually email those people. But like I always say, it's important that you do your research first, because you don't just want to be emailing people without first having something substantial to actually tell them. Like, you should know, like, what are they doing currently for their marketing? Like you said, if you go to SimilarWeb, it will tell you exactly how they're currently marketing in their businesses, what they're doing and everything. So definitely, yeah.
The other great insight tool that we used was Facebook ads.
Yes.
That was really, really fantastic because if you know the brand and you know what ads they're running on Facebook and your business is to market and get exposure for these people, you need to know what ads they're running and who they are targeting. So that was a great, insightful tool. I don't know how many of you out there use Facebook ads, but it gives you such precise information. It was really great.
Yeah, so it's, if anyone doesn't know, because I'm obsessed with this. Probably because I'm a little stalkery, and I'm like, I can see your strategies. Yes. But you might not know, you can't see people's ads on their Facebook pages and their Instagram profiles. They're hidden.
Yeah.
So you go to Facebook ad library, and then you can see where they're actually spending money. And then the conversation is easier. I see you're already spending money on this offer. Let me rather share that offer to my audience for 75% of what it is you're already spending.
Yeah, and as a businesswoman, because you already have an audience that actually buys the most, and because they like and trust you already as the businesswoman, they're more likely to actually buy than someone if you just ran an ad and, to a cold audience. So because you already have a warm audience, definitely. So yeah.
What I loved from all of this research was we were able to take away, this is your target market. We can see this is your target market. We can see this is where you are wanting to go though. And then when we wrote the emails to these different companies, we could say, we've actually got that target market covered for you. So if you'd like to chat, we're here. Yeah. And that was really great. And the first email is so scary, guys, because it's such little information. You know what it's like when you're doing a presentation, you think you have to give all of this information. And that was something else that struck me. You were like, no, very simple.
Short.
Hi, we know this about you. We know we can help you. Let's chat.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, you want to keep it short because here's the thing. They don't know you. It's the first time receiving your email and they don't want to get this long list and this long email from you. Make it short and keep it to the point. So they read and they're like, oh, okay, interesting. So yeah.
So we were talking about cold email outreach, which I don't know about a lot of you, but frankly, I haven't had a lot of success with. So Lulu, do you want to share actually what does go into that cold email and why does it work so well?
Okay, so like we said, the one thing that you have to make sure first, you have to do your research. Because once you, for example, you've done your wish list of the different sponsors that you want to work with, you have to make sure that you know which assets you're going to give them. Like, what activations will you give them? Like, do you want to offer, do you have a big social media audience, or do you have a big email list? Do you do events online or offline? So be clear on what you have to offer first of all, and then do your research and see who actually can benefit from what you have, like your audience, the people that you work with, who can benefit from it, and how can you actually make sure that when you're telling them, they see the benefit, because that's the most important thing. The sponsors or the potential sponsors have to see the benefit that you have to offer. So that's the one thing you want to do. You want to make sure that you know what you have to offer, so you're clear on your assets that you provide, and you also know your wish list of the different sponsors that you wanna work with, and then you do your research. So once you've researched, you find out how they market themselves currently, and you find out and how you can come in and actually help them, like whether it's through an awareness or to get more sales, because depending on the corporate sponsor, what they want to achieve and how you can help them achieve that. So when you send the email, you want to make sure that it's nice and short. So what you pretty much say, for example, you just say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I see that you're trying to achieve this and that. For example, I see that you're trying to achieve reaching 23-year-olds to 22-year-olds, and this is how you can work with them. I already serve that audience in different unique ways, and I would love to talk to you. So you're not telling them a long list of what this is, what, blah, blah, blah. So you're pretty much telling them that, hey, I serve your audience. I see these are the people you're trying to reach, and I see that you've done this and that before. So can we have a chat? So the most important thing is having that chat, because you don't want to finish like everything in the email.
And when you actually have the opportunity to have that chat, sit and listen.
And listen! That's the most important thing.
This is one of the most important.
That's the most important thing, because remember, when you're doing your proposal, you'll be putting exactly what they tell you. So when you have that chat, listen, ask questions and listen. And make sure that you take notes, because at the end of the day, once you have your deck and you have everything, you want to make sure you're offering everything they want, because they'll tell you, what we're trying to do is we're trying to reach this demographic, and this is the people, and so forth. So as they're telling you, make sure that you listen and take notes.
And cut and paste.
And cut and paste.
Literally cut and paste.
Yes. So when you once you come to the stage of doing your proposal, it makes it easy, because you're literally putting down what they've told you, you know? So you're literally putting down exactly how they were saying that they are telling you what they want and everything. So you're making sure that you are actually delivering what they want, which is what they've told you.
So, Lulu, I remember when we were writing these cold emails, and I was like, can't I just tell people what Future Females is? Can't I tell them how amazing our community is? Can't I just attach this little business overview? And you're like, no, take it out, take it out, take it out. What are some of the biggest barriers you see, or pitfalls that you see your clients falling into over and over again that is stopping them from being successful?
The biggest one is not doing research and also making it about you. You know, when people just write about themselves, this is what we've done, this is, like, it's all about you. That's the biggest thing. So when they read, it's like, okay, so you just gave me all these great things you've done, so what must I do about that, you know? So that's the biggest one, not doing their research and making it all about them. So when they read, they're like, what's the benefit for me from all of this? So, yeah.
Amazing. And I know when I read, so I actually found Lulu on LinkedIn, funny enough. That's where I found her. And when I read your profile, it said a really large number that you had actually gathered of funding for women, helped them gather this funding. Can you please share your most successful sponsorship story with us?
And the whole number also.
And the whole number also.
Awesome.
We like women to brag here, you know, like we like them to celebrate themselves. So please do share.
Yeah, so the biggest sponsorship that I received for a client is 2 million.
We should have started with this, because there would have been way more notes being taken. Everyone's like, okay, go back to the start.
So my client, so pretty much what they do is they own a pool service. So what they do is they offer services where they clean your pool, they do everything. So they've got different companies that they work with, and they've been doing this for years. So they had different companies that they were working with, and they needed sponsorship so that they'll be able to say, hey, we are able to actually have different pools cleaned, and we are able to actually make sure that we're running our business at a profit. Because the one thing I tell people who want sponsorship, you want to make sure that you get enough money to actually break even, so that anything that you make from your business is profit. So the one thing that you want to do, so the one thing that I help my client do is make sure that, like, all the products that they need, because if you're running a pool business, you've got products that you need to buy, you've got things that you need to do. suppose what they do is they need to do the work and then get paid after. So they needed to secure sponsorships from different people in their industry. And the one thing that they offered was that they already had a big clientele, and those people bought products for them, like cleaning products and everything. So those are the things that say, hey, we've got this big list of people that we work with, and these people can actually buy from you if you actually give them this. So I helped them secure that sponsorship so that they could actually get,
Amazing. So great. And what was that full number of sponsorship that you've gotten so far?
So far, counting, I've secured over 62 million.
62 million!
Lulu, you are incredible. We are actually almost at time, which means we have so much more to ask you.
But if you are a lady with high heels and high goals, Lulu is your lady, and she will help you secure that sponsorship. And we wish you all the best. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here and sharing tonight with us.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and we will see you soon in the next episode.
Yes, and everyone watching at home, thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.